You know that feeling, right? You've put in the hours with grammar, you know the vocabulary, you can even read pretty complex stuff. But then you try to actually speak, and it just slows right down. It feels kind of clunky, or like the research calls it, choppy.
Yeah, that gap between knowing it and saying it smoothly, it's probably the biggest hurdle for a lot of learners.
Definitely.
But the good news is the sources we looked into have this really focused method, a way to sort of break through that specific sound barrier. It's called the shadowing technique.
Right, shadowing. So that's our mission for this deep dive then, to really unpack it. Not just the basic idea, but the specific rules, the steps they lay out in the source material.
Exactly. This isn't just theory. It's like a workout plan for your fluency,
Yeah.
for your mouth, and actually for your brain, too.
Okay, let's unpack this. What exactly is this technique? What does shadowing mean here?
Well, the name's pretty good, actually. Think of being a shadow. You follow something really closely, almost perfectly. So here, you're listening to a speaker, and you're speaking at the exact same time as them, or maybe just a tiny fraction of a second behind.
Ah, okay. So right on their heels, basically. And this is really important, isn't it? It's not the usual listen, stop, then repeat thing.
Absolutely critical difference, yeah.
Yeah.
No pausing. That's just basic repetition. Shadowing is simultaneous. You're mirroring the sound as it happens.
But hang on, if I'm speaking at the same time, how am I processing the meaning? Isn't that just like high-speed parroting without really learning?
That's the core question, isn't it? And the answer is kind of counterintuitive. The immediate goal isn't deep comprehension. It's actually more physical, more acoustic.
Physical, acoustic.
Yeah, the source material breaks it down into three main goals for the shadowing itself. First, you're copying the pronunciation, getting the sounds right.
Okay.
Second, you're matching the intonation, the rise and fall, the music of the voice, the
Okay.
prosody.
The rhythm and melody, sort of.
Exactly. And third, you're focusing on stress. Which words are louder? Which syllables get the emphasis?
Ah, I see. So by zeroing in on how it sounds, not just what it means, you're kind of short-circuiting that translation step in your head.
You got it. That's the key benefit for fluency. It forces a direct link between hearing the English sound and producing it. You bypass that detour through your native language.
Right.
You're basically training your mouth muscles and your brain's pathways to work in English directly, building that muscle memory for the sounds and rhythms.
Okay, that makes sense. But it sounds like you really have to do it right. You can't just wing it. And the source material gives specific rules for this, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. 3 very clear rules. Think of them as safety rails for the exercise. If you ignore them, you probably won't get the real benefit. You'll just fall back into old habits.
All right, let's hear them. Rule number 1.
Rule 1, repeat immediately. Or rather, start immediately. As soon as the speaker you're shadowing begins, you begin. Don't wait for them to finish a phrase or sentence.
No waiting at all, just jump in.
Jump right in. Waiting kills the flow, which is the whole point.
Okay. Rule 2.
Rule 2, match the sound. This is about the quality of your imitation. Try to sound exactly like the speaker. Mimic their speed, their tone, even their emotion if you can catch it.
So really become their echo, not just the words, but the whole vocal delivery.
Precisely. You're adopting their acoustic fingerprints, so to speak.
And rule 3. This one sounds important.
It might be the most crucial, actually, even though it sounds forgiving. Rule 3 is don't worry about mistakes.
Really?
Yep. If you miss a word or you stumble over something, you absolutely do not stop. Don't pause. Don't correct yourself. Just jump back in on the next word you can catch.
Keep the flow going no matter what.
Exactly. The continuity is more important than getting every single word perfect.
That rule number 3. It links back to that choppy feeling we talked about at the start, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. You're actively training yourself not to pause, not to get stuck. In a real conversation, you can't just hit rewind. This builds the reflex to keep going, to maintain that forward momentum. That's a huge part of sounding fluent.
Okay, so we have the core idea, the why, and the rules. But how do you actually do this? Like day to day? The source gives a whole progression, right? It gets more complex.
Yeah, it's structured like a proper workout. Starts easy, then ramps up. 5 levels, specifically designed to build the skill gradually.
This is where it gets really interesting, I think. Level 1.
Level 1 is basically the warm-up. Super simple. You start with just single short words. The source uses examples like big, small, red, blue, hard, soft.
Just getting the mouth used to the sounds.
Exactly. Then you quickly move to simple pairs, focusing on the rhythm. Hard and soft, fast and loud. It's pure muscle memory activation at this stage. Very physical.
Right, priming the pump. Okay, makes sense. Level 2.
Level 2 introduces actual sentences but keeps them short and simple. The example used is describing a coffee cup.
A coffee cup.
Yeah, so you'd shatter phrases like, here's a cup, it's a white ceramic cup, it's full of hot coffee. Then maybe descriptive bits like, it's smooth and hard, I hold it by the handle.
So moving from single sounds to basic sentence structures,
Yeah.
shadowing those natural little chunks of language.
Correct. And the source points out, if this already feels difficult, if you feel like you're stumbling, that's normal. That's kind of the point. You're pushing your production ahead of your deep processing.
Right, it's supposed to be challenging. Okay, level 3. Does it just get harder?
It increases the complexity, yeah.
Yeah.
The example shifts to something a bit more detailed, like a backpack. The sentences get longer.
Like what?
Things like, it's made of a strong material. It has 2 big pockets. And the real focus here, the discipline you're practicing, is rule 3, don't stop.
The no mistakes rule.
Well, the don't stop because of mistakes rule. If a sentence like, it has adjustable shoulder straps for comfort throws you off, you don't pause. You just pick up the next word you hear and keep going.
Okay, so building that resilience, that ability to recover mid-flow.
Exactly. Instant recovery. Vital for real-world speaking.
Then what? Level 4 must be pretty tough.
Level 4 is where it really comes together. It's called paragraph flow and stress mastery. You take those longer sentences, like the ones about the backpack, and shadow a whole paragraph describing it.
A full paragraph, nonstop.
Wow. And here's the kicker. The source says to do this paragraph practice twice. The second time through, your main focus shifts specifically to matching the stress.
The stress. So which words the original speaker emphasizes?
Precisely. You're listening for which words pop out, which ones are louder or said with more force. It's about catching the underlying emphasis, the speaker's intent, through the sound. It's a much deeper level of listening.
That's way beyond just repeating words. You're decoding the importance through the sound itself.
You are. You're tuning into what linguists call the suprasegmental, features the melody and rhythm that carry meaning beyond the individual words.
Okay, so that leads to the final level. Level 5, the ultimate test.
Level 5 is called conversational fluency. And yeah, it's the longest, most complex piece of speech in the training example. It's a description of a messy desk scene.
A messy desk. Why so specific?
I think the detail is the point. It forces you to hold a lot of information in your head while maintaining the shadowing flow. The description mentions specifics like a tall silver lamp, a spiral notebook.
I remember reading that. Yeah, 3 pens, blue, black, red, a mouse pad.
Right, a soft black mouse pad, a white coffee cup still half full, even a small green plant in a clay pot. Lots of little details.
So the length and detail build endurance, mental and vocal.
Exactly. Mental endurance to track the details, vocal endurance to keep the shadowing going accurately over a longer stretch. It simulates holding a complex thought while speaking, which is crucial for things like presentations or even just involved conversations.
And there's one final layer they add here, isn't there? Something about emotion.
Yes. The ultimate instruction for level 5 is to try and match the speaker's emotion. If the original speaker sounds interested or maybe thoughtful or rushed, you try to capture that feeling in your shadowed voice.
Wow, okay, that's really aiming high. Not just sounding correct, but sounding natural and conveying the right feeling.
That's the peak, really. Moving from just mechanical accuracy to genuine communicative expression. That's what real fluency sounds like, doesn't it? It has feeling.
Absolutely. Okay, so we've mentally gone through this whole pretty intense 20-minute workout. From single words to complex paragraphs with emotional nuance. Maybe our mouths even feel a bit tired just thinking about it.
Huh. Yeah, and the source actually says that physical fatigue in the jaw or tongue is a good sign. It means you are actually using the muscles in the right way, maybe in ways you're not used to.
So what's the big takeaway then? After you've done this workout, what have you actually achieved?
Well, the core achievement is that you've started building or strengthening that direct pathway in your brain. The one that goes straight from hearing English to speaking English without that detour through your native language.
Bypassing the translation engine.
Exactly. You haven't just learned vocabulary in isolation. You've started internalizing the sound system, the rhythm, the music of English. That's fundamental.
Okay, so the workout itself is powerful. But what about making it stick? What's the homework? Because consistency is always key, right?
Absolutely. And the homework prescribed is actually surprisingly minimal in terms of time, but demands consistency. It's simple. Find 5 minutes every single day.
Just 5 minutes after a 20-minute workout description.
Just 5 minutes, but every day. Use the audio from the source material again, find a YouTube clip, a bit of a podcast, anything with a clear speaker you want to emulate. The key is the daily habit and maintaining that focus purely on sound and flow, not on understanding every single word.
5 minutes of high-intensity focus every day. Consistency over sheer volume.
That's the principle. It suggests that short bursts of highly focused active practice might be more potent than hours of passive listening or unfocused repetition.
That really makes you think, doesn't it? Which leads perfectly into the sort of final provocative thought from this deep dive.
Right. The source describes this intensive 20-minute routine, but then assigns only 5 minutes daily. It makes you wonder if just 5 minutes of this very specific sound-focused imitation can have such a big impact on fluency.
Then what does that say about how we usually study? Like hours spent just reading lists or doing grammar drills passively.
Exactly. Maybe we need to question those assumptions. If the physical act of producing the sounds, of matching the flow, is this powerful, perhaps shifting just a small amount of time, that 5 minutes away from passive review towards active shadowing could unlock something significant.
Stop just thinking about the language and start actually making the sounds, feeling the rhythm. Stop pausing, start flowing.
Get the music right. Focus on that flow. The rest often follows more easily than you'd think.
That's a really powerful takeaway. Focus on the music. Thanks for breaking down this shadowing blueprint so clearly.
My pleasure. Now it's time for everyone listening to stop just listening and actually start shadowing.